He lines up the shot, his target a wild deer grazing in the ruins of Times Square. But in a flash of gold and fury, a lioness explodes from the brush, stealing his kill. He calmly adjusts his aim, ready to claim the lioness as his prize instead. But before he can pull the trigger, a male lion and its cub emerge. In a world almost completely wiped clean of humanity, this sudden, unexpected display of family gives him pause. Just then, his watch beeps. A signal. He glances at the setting sun, and a switch flips. The hunt is over. Panic sets in. He yells for his dog, and together, they run. Back at his fortress, a historic home in Washington Square Park, Robert Neville douses the front steps with bleach, erasing his and his dog's scent from the world. Only then does he retreat inside. But even here, safety is an illusion. As night falls, the real lockdown begins. He secures a 3-inch thick steel door. Heavy steel shutters slam down over every window, plunging the home into absolute darkness. Only when every entrance is sealed does Neville, along with his German shepherd, Sam, retreat to the bathtub. Even in his sleep, his hand is wrapped tightly around his rifle, listening to the guttural screams from the world outside, daring not to make a sound. His mind flashes back to how it all went wrong. 3 years ago, a medical miracle. A doctor named Alice Crippen found a cure for cancer by reprogramming the measles virus.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes. Yes, we have.
But the miracle became a plague. The virus mutated, went airborne, and killed 90% of the world's population. The few who were infected and survived, well, they became something else. They're called dark seekers. They have superhuman strength and speed, and if they bite you, you become one of them. Their only weakness? Sunlight. UV radiation is lethal, so they only hunt at night. Neville's wife and daughter are gone. He's the last man in New York City, maybe the world. His only family now is Sam. Neville maintains a brutal daily routine, intense physical training, and endless hours in his basement lab. He keeps dozens of infected rats, testing serum after serum, desperate to find a cure. Each one is numbered, its reaction meticulously logged. Every time a subject dies, you can see the hope drain from his face. But then, a breakthrough. One rat, number 6, shows a change. Its aggression has faded. To get a human subject, he has to catch one. And that means setting a trap in the heart of their territory. Foraging in the empty city is getting harder. Every day at noon, he goes to the South Street seaport and broadcasts a message, praying for a response from other survivors.
If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone.
His loneliness is so profound, he started talking to mannequins at the local video store, giving them names, imagining their lives. He even meets a female mannequin and gets genuinely shy. Neville marks another block of searched houses on his map. With no one to talk to, his life is split. By day, he's a scientist and survivalist. But in his downtime, he drives to an aircraft carrier and hits golf balls off the wing of a jet. Sam waits patiently. But today, she spots something. A deer. For Neville, fresh meat is an irresistible temptation. He gives chase, but Sam, full of adrenaline, runs straight into the darkness of an abandoned building. Neville knows what this means. Dark, enclosed spaces are where they sleep. His heart hammers in his chest. He can't even risk his flashlight at full power. He whispers Sam's name, following a trail of blood. He sees the deer, already dead, and that means he's walked right into the lion's den. He holds his breath, sweeps the light across the room, and freezes. A pack of dark seekers is feasting. He snaps the light off and backs away. He finds Sam cowering under a desk. But as she whimpers, Neville realizes they're not alone. He smashes through a window, escaping into the blinding sunlight. The dark seekers that follow shriek in agony as their skin burns. Seeing this gives Neville an idea, a plan. He sets a sophisticated snare at Grand Central Terminal, using his own blood as bait. A dark seeker takes it and is hoisted into the air. As Neville moves in, another one charges out of the darkness. a male. And even as the sunlight sears its skin, it stands its ground, roaring at Neville not with mindless rage, but with what looks like protective fury. The look in that creature's eyes shakes Neville. For the first time, he saw something that felt human. Back in the lab, he straps the captured female to the table. He notices a butterfly tattoo on her shoulder. He injects his promising new serum. For a moment, it works. Her vitals stabilize. But just as he allows himself a flicker of hope, she violently convulses and dies. Defeated, he has to bring her back to her Darkseeker state just to keep the test subject alive. The next day, something is wrong. As he drives past the video store, he sees that Fred, his mannequin friend, isn't inside. He's been moved. He's standing in the middle of the street. A terrifying thought grips him.
The hell are you doing out here, Fred?
If the Darkseekers move the mannequin, it means they can think. They can plan. They're evolving. In a fit of pure terror, he unloads his rifle into the surrounding buildings. He walks towards Fred, and his foot sinks into the mud. He's triggered a trap. The exact same trap he used. They learned from him. He's hoisted upside down, smashes his head on the pavement, and blacks out. He's woken by the beep of his watch. Sunset. The sound is a death sentence. He frantically cuts the rope, falling hard, a piece of metal impaling his leg. He can't walk. He drags himself, inch by agonizing inch, as the shadows lengthen. Just as he reaches his car, the Darkseekers release their own secret weapon, infected dogs. The second the sun vanishes, they attack. Neville shoots one. Sam launches herself at another. A third dog pins Neville down, its jaws snapping inches from his face. But Sam, loyal to the end, leaps in and saves him. When the fight is over, Neville sees the truth. Sam is badly wounded. She's been bitten. He rushes her home, injecting her with the serum, but it's no use. He knows what's coming. He holds her tight, stroking her fur, singing the song he always sang to her. A moment later, she begins to change. The friend he knew is gone forever. With tears streaming down his face, Neville is forced to end the life of the last member of his family. Now, he is truly alone. After burying Sam, something inside him breaks. He drives straight into a pack of Darkseekers, ramming them, unleashing all his grief. But there are too many. The alpha male directs the attack. They swarm the SUV and flip it over. Just as they're about to tear the door off, a blinding light floods the darkness. Neville passes out. He wakes up in his own house. His leg is stitched. He hears voices. He grabs a pistol and finds a scene he thought he'd never see again. A woman and a child. Her name is Anna. She and the boy, Ethan, heard his broadcast and were heading to a rumored survivor colony in Vermont. She wants him to come with them, but he refuses to leave. But they've talked too long. Night has fallen. And Anna, not knowing the rules, didn't cover their scent trail. They're coming. The Darkseekers swarm the house. Neville activates his last line of defense, UV floodlights. But the attackers keep coming, sacrificing themselves to destroy the lights one by one. Seeing the sheer number of them, Neville grabs a detonator. An explosion rips through the block, buying them seconds. He finds Anna and Ethan, but the Darkseekers are already inside. He gets them into the basement lab and seals the bulletproof glass door. This is their final stand. It's here that Neville notices it, the female subject on the table. The serum, it finally worked. She's becoming human again. He found the cure. But just as this revelation hits, the alpha male slams against the glass, again and again. The glass begins to crack. As the alpha pounds the glass, he smears a shape in the condensation, a butterfly. Neville looks from the shape to the butterfly tattoo on the female's shoulder, and he finally understands. The alpha male isn't just a monster, he's her partner. He's been trying to get her back this whole time. All this destruction was a rescue mission. In that moment, Robert Neville becomes a legend. He draws a vial of the cured blood from the female. He hands it to Anna and pushes her and Ethan into the safety of a coal chute. He looks at a photo of his wife and daughter one last time. As the alpha male finally shatters the glass, Neville pulls the pin on a grenade. He sacrifices himself, not just to save Anna and Ethan, but to preserve the cure that will save humanity. But that's not the only way the story ends. In the alternate ending, the butterfly moment still happens. But Neville's reaction is different. He understands. He sees the emotion, the intelligence. He lowers his gun. In a silent truce, he unhooks the female, opens the door, and gives her back. The alpha male gently holds her, and after one last look, leads his people away. In this version, Neville, Anna, and Ethan survive. They take the cure and drive towards Vermont, looking for other survivors. The first ending is tragic and epic. The second is quieter, more profound. It completely reframes the film. In Neville's eyes, the Darkseekers were a plague to be cured. But in their eyes, he was the monster who kidnapped and experimented on them. They had their own society, their own feelings. And maybe, in that final confrontation, Neville realized he wasn't saving the world from monsters. He was just another creature who had finally learned to let go. So, two very different endings, two very different legends, one of sacrifice, one of understanding. It's one of the most debated movie endings out there, and I want to know what you think. What was the right choice? Which ending do you prefer? The tragic hero who gives his life for the cure, or the man who learns a hard lesson about who the real monsters are? Let me know which ending you choose in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a modern classic, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. You won't want to miss the absolute roller coaster of a movie we're covering next week. Thanks for watching,